I was scrolling through my feed this morning and I saw it again. The dream. You know the one I'm talking about.
Let me guess. Infinity pool. Sunset over the Andaman Sea. Maybe a fresh coconut with a little umbrella in it.
Exactly. The I'm going to sell everything, leave the rat race, and move to a villa in Thailand fantasy. It's incredibly compelling. You see that turquoise water, the white sand, and you think, why am I still here when I could have that?
It's the classic paradise paradox.
Yeah.
The more beautiful the location, the murkier the waters are for investors. Because as soon as you stop scrolling and actually think about handing over your life savings across borders in a legal system you don't get, in a language you don't speak, that coconut doesn't taste quite as sweet, does it?
Right. The panic sets in. And that's exactly why we're here. We are taking that dream of buying in Phuket, stripping away all the Instagram filters and looking at the cold, hard mechanics of how you actually do it.
How you do it without losing your shirt.
Exactly.
We're going deep on the legalities, the hidden costs, the cultural minefields, and the strategies that separate the tourists from the residents. And to do this, we're not just winging it. We're leaning on a heavy hitter source today.
We have a comprehensive roadmap provided by Ocean Worldwide. And for context, Ocean Worldwide isn't some pop-up agency that just arrived last year. They've been on the ground in Phuket as a luxury real estate agency since 2004.
Which is practically a lifetime in real estate years, especially in a market like that. I mean, think about what's happened since 2004. They've navigated the post-tsunami reconstruction, the 2008 financial crisis, the pandemic, if anyone knows where the bodies are buried, metaphorically, of course.
It's them.
It's them.
And specifically, we're drawing on insights from Sandra O'Neill. She's the director there. She has guided, thousands of families and investors through this exact process. Plus, we've got market data from their marketing lead, Gail Ovid-Etienne. So we're moving from glossy brochure to boots-on-the-ground reality.
Mission accepted. Let's turn you from a dreamer into a savvy investor.
Okay, so where do we even start? Do I just, book a flight, land in Phuket, and start looking for sale signs?
Please, no. Absolutely not. That's the #1 rookie mistake. Ocean Worldwide calls this Phase 1, the pregame. And the core message is simple. Strategy before scenery. Meaning, I want a house in Phuket is not a goal, it's a wish. You have to define the objective because the island is not a monolith. It's huge and it's highly segmented.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a holiday bolt hole for 2 weeks a year?
Or a full-time residence.
Right. Or moving there with a family. Or is this purely a spreadsheet decision, a rental investment where you only care about the yield?
Because the location for the spreadsheet investor is probably terrible for the family with the golden retriever.
Precisely. The source breaks down the neighborhoods by vibe, and the differences are really stark. For example, if you want high energy, nightlife, that constant buzz,
you go to Patong.
You go to Patong. But if you buy a family villa there, you might regret it when the base is shaking your windows at 2 a.m. Now, conversely, if you want family-friendly international schools, Sunday brunches, a more expat community feel, you're looking at Bang Tao.
I saw Mai Khao mentioned in the notes. That sounded different.
Mai Khao is very different. It's incredibly tranquil. It's up north near the airport, but it feels worlds away. It's protected. It's for people who want to escape the world, not, join the party. And then down south, you have Rawai and Nai Harn.
Right, for the island hoppers.
Exactly, the ocean lovers. People with boats who want that village feel with great seafood.
The guide actually highlighted a specific property to show this contrast, the East Coast Seaview Villa in Aopor.
Yes, Aopor is on the East Coast, which is practically the opposite of the tourist-heavy West Coast. It's secluded, quiet, very local near the marinas. If you bought there expecting nightlife, you'd be miserable. But for privacy and yachting, it's paradise. You have to match the lifestyle to the location.
Speaking of price, let's talk about the budget reality check. Because I feel like people look at the listing price, do a quick currency conversion, and think, oh, I can afford that.
And that is exactly how you blow the budget. The listing price is just the entry fee. The source really emphasizes the hidden carry costs. You have common area fees, which can be significant in luxury developments.
For pools, security, that kind of thing.
Sure. Then you have sinking funds.
Sinking funds, that sounds ominous.
It's actually a safety net. It's a fund for future major repairs like repaving roads or fixing a communal roof. If you don't factor that in, you're going to get a nasty surprise down the line. And of course, taxes.
And the cost of the hunt itself.
Yes. The flights, the hotels, car rentals.
Yeah.
If you come out 3 or 4 times because you didn't do your homework, You've spent a huge chunk of your down payment just on logistics.
And financing. I can't just walk into a Thai bank and get a mortgage, can I?
Not easily.
Yeah.
The days of a foreigner getting a 30-year fixed rate are, well, they mostly don't exist.
Yeah.
You need to know your options, usually cash or maybe specific developer financing, before you even get on the plane.
Right. You don't want to fall in love with the place and then realize you have no way to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I've done my pregame. I know my objective. I've picked my neighborhood. Let's say I'm an AO poor kind of guy and I've got my financing sorted. Now I fly in. Now I enter the jungle.
Welcome to phase 2. And jungle is the right word. The source is very emphatic here. You cannot navigate this alone. You need a team.
In the West, I might just pop into a local estate agent's office. You're saying that doesn't really work there?
It works, but it's risky.
Mm-hmm.
The barrier to entry to become an agent in Thailand is lower than in some other countries.
Mm-hmm.
You want longevity. This is why that Ocean Worldwide 2004 date matters so much. You want an agent who knows the history of a specific building.
Like, hey, this building flooded 3 years ago.
Exactly that. Or this developer cuts corners on roofing. Or the management company here changed 3 times in 2 years. An agent who just arrived 6 months ago won't know that. A veteran like Sandra O'Neill provides the backstory. They're your first line of defense.
Okay, agent secured. Who's next?
The lawyer. And this is flagged in the sorts as absolutely non-negotiable.
I can just hear people thinking, oh, I'll skip the lawyer, save a few $1,000s.
And that is where they lose hundreds of thousands. Here's the key insight. All official legal documents about land in Thailand are in Thai.
Oh.
The English translation you get, that's a courtesy. It is not the binding document. If there's a discrepancy, the Thai version wins in court. Every time.
That is terrifying.
It should be. You need a lawyer who's fluent in both the language and the law. They also check for things like debts attached to the property. You don't want to inherit the last owner's unpaid taxes.
Okay, lawyer is hired, no question.
Yeah.
Who else?
A surveyor. Think of him as doing a health check on the house. In a tropical climate, things degrade fast. Termites, salt air corrosion, drainage. You need a pro to look closer than you can. You see fresh paint, they see the water damage underneath.
And finally, a notary public.
Right. In Thailand, their role is specific. They authenticate documents and witness signatures. It just adds that official layer of verification that protects you if things go sideways later.
So we have the squad, agent, lawyer, surveyor, notary. Now we move to phase 3, the actual deep dive into the property itself. Due diligence.
This is where you have to take off the rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Ocean Worldwide makes a great point. Online photos are marketing. They're designed to sell a fantasy. Your job is to inspect the reality.
What are the big red flags the guide tells us to look for?
Start with the view. In the photo, it's endless ocean. In reality, is that just a clever angle avoiding the construction site next door?
Or the neighbor's garbage bins.
Exactly. Wide-angle lenses tell many lies. Then check the infrastructure. Is the road paved? Is it public or private? If it rains, and it rains hard, does your access road flood?
You won't see prone to flooding in the listing, I imagine.
You will not.
Okay, let's get technical for a second. The title deed. I've heard horror stories about people buying land only to find out the seller didn't really own it.
This is maybe the most critical technical takeaway of this entire deep dive. In Thailand, there are many grades of land titles. Some just give you possessory rights, not full ownership. You want the gold standard.
Which is?
The Chanote.
Chanote. Can you spell that?
Chanote. Or technically, Nor Sor For Jor.
And why is the Chanote the Holy Grail?
Because it means the land has been accurately surveyed using GPS relative to a national grid. The boundaries are marked by concrete posts in the ground. There's no ambiguity. You know exactly what you own.
So if someone tries to sell me a piece of paradise with a North Shore 3 or something else,
you should be asking your lawyer some very, very serious questions. With other titles, boundaries can be fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to build a pool and find out half of it is on your neighbor's land.
And what about zoning?
Huge issue. You could buy a stunning plot with a Chanote, but if it's zoned for agriculture, or if it's too close to the shoreline where building heights are restricted,
you've just bought a very expensive picnic spot.
You have. Or you find an encumbrance, an easement. Maybe the local village has a right-of-way through your garden to get to the beach. Suddenly your private pool isn't so private. This is all stuff your lawyer checks at the land department.
Okay, so due diligence is the physical house, but also the invisible legal structure underneath it. Which brings us to the biggest invisible structure of all. The elephant in the room.
Foreign ownership.
The internet says foreigners can't own land in Thailand. True or false?
Generally speaking, true. That is the core rule. Under Thai law, you, as a foreigner, cannot hold the freehold title to land in your own name.
But Ocean Worldwide has been selling villas to foreigners for 20 years, so there are obviously ways.
There are established legal structures. And we should be clear, we're just reporting on how the market functions. We're not endorsing one over another, but here's the menu of options.
Okay, option one.
Leasehold. This is the most straightforward. You don't own the land. You sign a long-term lease, typically for 30 years.
30 years feels a little short if I'm planning to retire there.
Well, it's usually renewable. The contracts are often structured as 30 plus 30 years, so you effectively lock it down for 90 years. You own the building itself, the bricks and mortar, but you rent the dirt it sits on. It's fully recognized by Thai law. It's safe.
Got it. Option two.
The Thai Limited Company.
Yeah.
This is where a company is set up in Thailand to buy the land. You, the foreigner, are a shareholder in that company.
But if I'm a shareholder, I control it, right?
It's complex. The law requires the company to be majority Thai-owned. So 51% of the shares have to be held by Thai nationals.
So I'm a minority shareholder in the company that owns my own house. That sounds risky.
It requires very careful legal structuring. Your lawyer makes sure that your 49% of shares have preferential voting rights, which gives you control.
Yeah.
But, and this is the big but, the company has to be a real active entity. It has to file taxes, hold meetings. If the government thinks it exists only to get around the land laws, they can investigate.
So high maintenance, but high control. Is there an option three where I just own it? My name on the deed, no leases, no companies?
Yes, the freehold condominium. This is the one exception. Foreigners can own a condo unit freehold 100% in their own name.
Why are condos different?
Because you don't own the land directly.
Yep.
You own a slice of the building. But there is a catch. The foreign ownership quota.
The quota.
In any given condo building, foreigners can only own up to 49% of the total floor area. The other 51% must be owned by Thais.
So if I fall in love with a condo, but the building has already hit its 49% foreign limit.
You're out of luck for a freehold title. You'd have to buy it as a leasehold. And this is why having a team like Sandra O'Neill's matters. They know which buildings still have foreign quota available.
Got it. So leasehold is safe, temporary-ish. Company is permanent but complex. Condo is easy but limited by supply.
That's a perfect summary.
Let's switch gears to the numbers. Phase 5. ROI. If this is an investment, what's the payout? I see Ocean Worldwide shared some yield data.
They did, and I like these numbers because they feel realistic. They aren't promising some, get-rich-quick scheme.
Give me the breakdown.
For a beachfront villa top of the market, they estimate a 5% to 7% rental yield.
That's pretty decent.
It is. A sea view condo is a bit lower, usually 4% to 6%. And an inland house, you're looking at maybe 3% to 5%.
So the closer to the water, the higher the yield.
Generally, yes. But maintenance is also higher. Salt spray eats everything. Air conditioners, hinges, electronics. You had to factor that replacement cost into your real yield.
And if I'm sitting in London, I can't exactly drive over to check in a guest.
Which is why property management isn't optional, it's essential. You need a team to market the place, vet tenants, collect rent, and handle the 3 a.m. call about a broken water pipe. Trying to manage a Thai rental from a different time zone is just a recipe for disaster.
Okay, there's one last piece of this puzzle that the guide calls the secret weapon. And honestly, this was my favorite part. It's not a legal clause or a bank account, it's manners.
It's the soft skills of the deal. Look, in the West, business is often transactional. It's contracts, signatures, price. It can be adversarial, even. In Thailand, business is relational. It's all about respect.
The guide talks about the way.
The traditional greeting with the pressed hands. Doing that shows you're making an effort. But the real insight here is the concept of saving face.
Explain how that impacts a real estate negotiation.
It means you avoid public confrontation at all costs. Let's say you think the seller's price is too high. In the West, you might say, that's ridiculous. This place isn't worth that. You play hardball.
Right.
If you do that in Thailand, you have lost. You just have. If you get aggressive or make the seller look foolish, they might just walk away from the deal.
Even if the money is good?
Even if the money is good. Preserving dignity is often worth more than an extra 5%. If you cause someone to lose face, the deal is probably dead.
So patience isn't just a virtue, it's a financial strategy.
Absolutely. Things move at a different pace. Rushing is seen as rude. If you push too hard, walls go up. If you're patient, you smile, you negotiate indirectly, doors open.
It's amazing that your emotional intelligence could be the difference between closing and not.
It's the oil in the engine. Without it, the gears just grind to a halt.
So let's bring it all home. We found the house, checked the Chinook, set up our legal structure, and smiled our way through the negotiation. How do we cross the finish line?
The closing process is actually pretty linear once the heavy lifting is done. You sign the sales agreement with your lawyer right there, of course.
Yeah.
You pay the deposit.
And
Then comes the big day at the land department. That's where the official transfer happens. Taxes and fees are paid, and the name on the title is officially changed.
and then you just get the keys and turn on the lights.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You register for utilities, pay your government fees, and pop that coconut.
When you break it down like that, it feels manageable. It's complex, sure, but it's manageable.
That's the key takeaway. It's not an impossible maze.
Yeah.
Thousands of foreigners do this successfully, but they do it because they follow a roadmap. They don't just wing it.
And having the right map helps.
It certainly does.
We've covered a massive amount of ground today. From the difference between Patong and Aopor to the nitty-gritty of Chinode titles and foreign ownership quotas.
I think if I had to summarize, it's don't let the beauty of the island blind you to the business of the transaction, but also don't let the business scare you away from the beauty. You just need the right support.
And speaking of support, we have to circle back to the architects of today's roadmap. This whole deep dive was powered by the insights from Ocean Worldwide.
And specifically, the experience of Sandra O'Neill, leading that agency since 2004. I mean, she's seen every market cycle, every regulatory shift for 2 decades. That is the kind of institutional memory you want on your side.
Absolutely. So if you're listening to this and thinking, okay, I'm ready to stop dreaming and start actually looking, then go to the source. Check out oceanwwp.com.
That's oceanwwp.com. You can see the listings, but more importantly, get that expert guidance we've been talking about.
Before we sign off, I want to leave the listener with one final thought. What's the one thing that isn't in the spreadsheets?
You know, we talked a lot about price and yields, but I want to leave you with a thought about value versus price. Buying property in Phuket isn't just acquiring a financial asset. It's investing in a whole lifestyle change.
How so?
The soft skills we discussed, patience, respect, slowing down, those aren't just negotiation tactics. They are the lifestyle you are buying into. So the question isn't just, can I afford the villa? The question is, am I ready to adopt the mindset that makes living there rewarding?
That's a great point. If you bring your high-stress, rush mentality to a tropical island, you might own the view, but you'll completely miss the point.
Exactly. You're buying a new way of being, not just a new roof.
Thank you for that deep dive. And a huge thank you to Ocean Worldwide for all the insights. We'll catch you on the next one.
Sawadee krap.
Sawadee ka.